friends, welcome to Bookish Bliss, our virtual book club. Every week we will dig into a section of chapters in our favorite books. Let's get started!
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 61 of Bookish Bliss. We have a lot to discuss today.
This week we are covering chapters 40 to 55 of Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. These are the final chapters, so you do have to read the whole book to listen. So if you haven't, then go watch
finish
the last 3 episodes. Amanda, darling, what are you drinking tonight?
Since we've gotten so many responses on our polar seltzer video, I thought I should feature it tonight. So I'm having one of my non-chemical ginger ales. What are you having tonight?
I am drinking a bubbly, my favorite, blackberry.
Ooh.
So let's crack this open. Cheers to episode 61 of Bookish Bliss and the last set of chapters of Throne of Glass. Cheers!
Cheers, darling!
Cheers, darling. So we have some bookish updates.
Yes.
As I was scouring the internet, okay, TikTok, I saw that there is a Stuff Your Kindle Days that are coming up. Forget your taxes, it's Stuff Your Kindle time, and even though it starts on 4/15, which is tomorrow, it will still be going on when this episode airs. Indie Central authors are currently orchestrating a fantastical escape right into your e-reader. Then, because apparently our Kindles aren't stuffed enough, on 4/20, yes, that 4/20, make of that what you will, Not Your Love Language is hosting an Omegaverse Stuff Your Kindle Day. Prepare for some naughty situations, folks.
Woo!
Finally, if you somehow have storage space, on 4/22, Romance Books Blast 1 day free romance extravaganza. It's a raining romance. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Your Kindle is about to look like it swallowed a library, a very specific, often steamy library.
Hell yeah. I can't wait.
Because you know that's what I'm going to be choosing. Steam,
the romance?
Spicier, dark romance.
Mm-hmm.
Any genre if there's spice.
And fantastical escape.
Yes. Also, we have one shout out today to Brittany, who joined our Discord this week.
Brittany.
We are still reading Our Infinite Fates. Our Discord will be doing a meet and greet on May 4th virtually to go over our thoughts of the book, but we're almost halfway through the book and I'm loving it so far.
We're obsessed. So good.
It's so good.
Lots of hard words, but still really good.
I know. We're like, skip that word, but it's okay. It's still really good.
Good thing we don't have to talk about it on the podcast because I would botch so many of those words.
Oh, for sure. Me too. But I think that's all the updates I have. Do you have anything?
Nope, that's it. You covered everything. You're so efficient, Megan.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, darling. Now let's get started with the good stuff and break down Throne of Glass Part 4, our final chapter section.
Whoa.
Take it away, Megan.
Of course, we're starting with me. I'm the evens.
Yep, and I'm the odds. We'll be ending with me.
So chapter 40, I'm calling Dorian's Dog Duty and Caltain's Dirty Deeds.
Both dogs in this chapter.
Selena's post-ball antics with Dorian left her waking up at an ungodly hour, 1 p.m., trading training for puppy-induced panic. Luckily, Prince Charming, Dorian, played early morning dog walker, saving her room for potential puppy puddles. A near miss on the dog's name, Goldie, seriously, Dorian, resulted in the infinitely more badass Fleetfoot. Their awkward yet promising kiss from the night before gets a lukewarm review from Selena. Didn't hate it. High praise in her book, much to Dorian's delight. A moment of tenderness over Selena's scars is quickly interrupted by a jarring shift to Caltaine, who's now plotting with the sinister Duke Parrington in the gardens. Turns out Parrington spilled the beans about Lady Lillian's true identity. Surprise! It's Selena the assassin. And now he's manipulating a jealous Caltaine into a poison plot that could make the final test very interesting. Looks like hangovers and puppy love are the least of Selena's worries.
She got an uphill battle with that one, Caltaine.
Literally, she's awful. So Selena had partied hard at the ball, apparently, and her escapades after with Dorian because she woke up the next day at 1 p.m., thought she missed everything. She's like, what day is it? What time is it? Do I need to be training? What is happening?
I wish I could wake up at 1 p.m. again.
Right? I just can't do it anymore, no
Me
matter
neither.
what.
Yeah, me neither.
The final test was just 2 days away.
Wow.
We're getting so close. Her new puppy was in her room, and she was hoping that she had not peed anywhere in her room. But Dorian, who was also in her room, he's just always there now, told her that he had taken the pup out with his at dawn. Oh, what a good little not boyfriend yet boyfriend.
Yeah, that's a very boyfriendy thing to do.
It is a very boyfriendy thing to do.
Mm.
But this dog doesn't have a name. So I like Dorian's suggestion
Me
of
too.
Goldie.
I like Goldie. I don't even know what a Fleetfoot is, to be honest.
I'm not exactly sure either. So if someone knows what that means and why Selena's like, this is the most brilliant idea ever, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah, please. Enlighten us.
Enlighten us. Selena and Dorian discussed their kiss last night. Ooh. She tells him that she didn't hate it, so Dorian seems pretty ecstatic about this revelation. Dorian turns sorrowful, though, when he looks at the 3 scars on Selena's back, even though he's seen them before. Selena tells Dorian that everyone bears scars. Hers just happen to be more visible.
She's so humble, even with her scars.
Very wise, this Selena.
Yeah.
We switch to, I think this is one of the only Caltaine POVs that I
How did you get so lucky? You don't have to cover her POVs.
I don't know. I'm just thankful. But she's taking a stroll with Duke Parrington in the gardens. Parrington knows that Caltaine was staring at Dorian and Lady Lillian at the ball, so he knows where her true feelings lie for sure.
He's definitely always known.
He's a jerk, but he's not a dum-dum.
No, he's just as conniving as Caltaine.
Literally, they're a match made in hell.
Karma's a fucking bitch, Caltaine.
Yes. Parrington tells Caltaine, though, which I was kind of surprised that he hadn't already told her this sooner. But I guess, like, he didn't need her running through the halls before the test was so far away, and now it's just a couple of days away.
Yeah.
So he's like, now's the perfect time to spill the beans and plot an evil plan. So, yeah, like I said earlier, he tells Caltaine that Lady Lillian is really Selena Sardothian and she's Adarlan's greatest assassin, which Caltaine's like, oh, I knew she wasn't a real lady.
We need to protect the prince.
Protect him. So Parrington convinces Caltaine to put Bloodbane into Selena's drink during the final duel to help Kane win and keep Selena away from Dorian.
They must think she's real strong to need poison to defeat this massive man.
Especially now that we know that Kane has the strength of all those dead champions, you're still going to be putting Bloodbane into her drink?
I know, because Parrington definitely knows. There's so much of like his beady little black eyes that match Kane, so he's got to be involved with the magic too. So he definitely knows.
For sure. And as we'll see later, I feel like even drugged, Selena was doing pretty good against Kane.
100%.
I mean, she totally got her ass kicked at one point, but she was holding her own.
For real. It would have been even better if she knew about the Bloodbane though, but you know, she doesn't think she's going to be poisoned with an odorless fucking poison in her wine.
I have some things to say about that when we get there.
Okay. Well, wait then.
Yeah.
Chapter 41. Selena, ditching beauty sleep for some late night sleuthing, connects the creepy symbols near the dead bodies to a ritualistic recipe for summoning a Ritterak. Trade victim flesh for their strength. portal possibly opened by word marks, Magic's rebellious cousin, Selena suspects Nehemia is behind it all, picturing a glorious anti-Adarlan uprising, which I think is major foreshadowing,
Hmm.
but wonders why her supposedly bookish buddy needs dead champion muscles. Noting a murder test proximity, Selena gears up for another potential victim. If Nehemia is the culprit, friendship's officially over, hand to hand combat style. Following suspicious footprints in the castle's forgotten underbelly, Selena finds the chanting culprit. Surprise, it's Kane.
No shit. It's not a surprise, Selena.
Literally.
Never once in my life reading this book the first time or even now gave me any sort of indication that it was Nehemia.
Never.
Just because she can speak the common tongue without an accent doesn't
I
mean that
know.
she's a murderer.
I think it just amplifies her trust issues, though, and how poorly everyone in her life has actually treated her. She literally trusts nobody. So even this small little detail about knowing Nehemia can actually speak the language that Selena was supposed to be teaching her, she's already like, she's evil.
Yeah.
She's a liar.
Yeah, I guess.
Selena's studying symbols from the murder scenes at her desk when she found a margin note describing a ritual to the Ritterak, marking with victim's blood to guide an exchange of flesh for the beast, granting the sacrificer the victim's strength. So this is how we know Kane has all of the strength of the dead champions, because he's literally taking it in,
Mhm.
exchanging their flesh. Selena theorized word marks were opening a portal for this non-magical creature. She briefly suspected Nehemia of orchestrating this for a large-scale rebellion against Adarlan, which, again, I think is significant foreshadowing. Maybe not Nehemia specifically, but I feel like there's going to be this huge rebellion coming
Hmm.
sometime in this series against this evil king.
Well,
And I know you can't comment on that, so I'll continue.
yes.
Selena is questioning Nehemia, but she also doesn't know why she would need this strength of all these champions. So she's like iffy on her still, but still a murderous suspect.
What murder?
Noting the murder's proximity to the tests, Selena anticipated another soon and vowed lethal revenge on Nehemia if betrayed. So she's caught on to this pattern that right before a test, something happens to a champion. She knows that there's not that many champions left, so there's only so many targets. And she's like, I swear to God, if it's fucking Nehemia, I'm going to backhand her with my own hand.
Literally.
Selena knew the only place that summoning could have occurred in the castle was in the Forgotten Tunnels, where she followed footprints to a chanting man whom she identified as Kane. So now we fucking know who's summoning the creature, and it's not Nehemia.
It's
Woo!
the person we knew it was all along. The
But
second we met him.
yeah, literally.
Chapter 42, I'm calling Kane's creature feature. So, surprise, surprise, it's Kane playing monster summoning maestro with his own blood because subtlety is for losers. The resulting beast, think a hairless, fanged nightmare with a humanish frame, apparently super obedient to its bloody boss. Selena's jewelry had a get out of dodge vibe, but Mother Nature, or someone equally dramatic, decided a forceful gust of wind was a better option, shoving her into the monster's lair. Kane, in a moment of villainous exposition, locked her in, clearly missing his calling as an Uber driver. Selena had a brief, my life flashing before my eyes moment, featuring a guilt trip about unsaid apologies to Nehemia, but plot twist, a handy tomb nearby, practically screaming, plot device. A quick monster induced door demolition later, and Selena's introducing the beast to Gavin's sword. Victory, sort of. Cue a gnarly bite, rapidly dropping body temperature, and a dramatic faint. Enter Nehemia, stage left, with glowing tattoos and some serious healing mojo. Looks like surviving Kane's pet project was just the warm up for whatever magical ailment Selena's now rocking.
Woo! I'm so happy that magic has entered the story, and I promise in final thoughts, we are going to have the most epic Throne of Glass fast magic section. I'm just not prepared today.
No, yes, it's just slowly being added into this series. So
Yeah.
soon enough, We'll be singing Fast Magic every episode.
I can't fucking wait.
Of course it was Cain. Of
Of
course. Like we keep
course.
saying. He used his blood to summon this creature, and she says that the creature looks like something out of an ancient god's nightmare, which just is horrifying.
That is horrifying.
It,
And it probably is ancient too.
yeah, probably. It was hairless, which is gross, gray skinned, and black fangs. She also said it had a vaguely human body, which I just like am having a
Mm.
really hard time picturing what this creature looks like in my head. So I might have to Google some fan art after this.
Yeah, me too.
No,
What does that mean, vaguely human?
I don't know. That's what it
Like
said in the book.
the
Like,
shape of a human?
maybe.
Hmm.
I'll have to look it up, but I'll do it
Yeah.
so you don't spoil anything for yourself.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
Also, Cain just like nods at this creature and it sits. It's like waiting for Cain's command, completely submissive to him.
Mm.
Selena's amulet was warm against her chest, trying to warn her away from the beast and Cain. But before she could run, Cain noticed her. Uh-oh, not as stealthy as I think we thought we were being.
No.
Cain told her it wasn't meant to be Selena tonight, but he can't pass up this opportunity. So I wonder who was going to be the victim that night.
Yeah.
Maybe Renault, because he had taken over as Cain's sidekick after Cain killed Vern.
Yeah, or Knox, because he's still here at this point too, right?
I know, but I don't think Knox would have fallen for it, especially after Selena warning him
True.
about things going on in the castle. So I don't think it would have been Knox. I think it would be Renault because
He's working with Kane
yeah,
and
he
he could
trusts
sneak up on
him.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, if Kane's like, come meet me, we have to discuss a plot to be villains, then he'd be like, okay.
You're right. It totally would have been Renault.
Yeah. So I don't know how this happens, but she says like a massive gust of wind pushes her from behind and into the room with Kane and the creature. So I don't know if he's doing that, or obviously Elena and others are not going to be pushing her into harm's way. So I have
Yeah.
to imagine that he has some sort of other powers that he's working with.
Unless is that the room that has the sword?
Mm-mm.
No?
No,
Because I was gonna say maybe it was Elena pushing her in there to push her towards the sword, but
no.
never mind.
Yeah. So Kane tells Selena it's a pity he won't ever know how Selena got into these tunnels, and then he locks her in the room with the creature.
Whoa.
So she's like, Kane, like, let me out of here, you stupid fucking piece of shit.
You goddamn asshole.
Which is what she would be saying if this wasn't a YA book.
Yeah.
Selena did not want to go out like this. Kale would never know what happened to her, and she would never be able to apologize to Nehemia for the thought she had about her, which I think it's really interesting that she doesn't mention Dorian at all in this little,
No.
like, monologue that
Yeah.
she's thinking in her head.
Mm.
Then it clicked. The answer lay to her right, the right passageway that led to the tomb. So, not just Elena telling her to look to her right for Peller to give her the answer. The answer right now was she had to go to the right to get to
Yeah.
the tomb so that she can survive the night. Someone had wanted her to
Mm.
find that tomb, so she knew where to go when the time came.
Interessante.
So she tricks the Ritterak into breaking down the wooden door and runs for her life into the tomb, where she grabs Demarius, Gavin's sword, and plunges the sword into the creature's mouth.
I want some fan art for that, because that seems like it would be a cool ass scene.
For sure.
One of those like fake AI ones, you know?
Yes, yes. It still bit down on her hand and she was bleeding, but the creature was dead. One win for us.
Hell yeah.
Selena makes it back to her room, but her hand was cold and she felt icy all over. Her heart was starting to beat slowly. She's lost way too much blood. She
Mhm.
collapses to the ground, but Nehemia finds her and saves her. She carries her into the bathing chamber and puts word marks on her arm that were turquoise. Nehemia was
Mm.
also speaking words that Selena didn't understand, and her arm was glowing as Nehemia rocked her back and forth in the bath before Selena passed out again.
Magic.
It's so crazy how, like, Nehemia is so in tuned to these supernatural things that are going on in the
I
castle,
know.
and just thank God she showed up. Like,
Thank God.
she doesn't really ever explain how she knew to come that night.
Mm.
Like, we know what she's been doing at the end of the book, but like we don't know how she knew exactly to come to Selena
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah. Interesante. I
Mhm.
never thought about that. Something for me to lose sleep over tonight.
You just wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, why was she there?
Literally. Chapter 43. Selena wakes up, magically healed with a stylish half moon scar, vaguely recalling tapestry shenanigans. Turns out Nehemia was her secret savior, prompting a most truthful confession from Selena. Tells her identity, the competition deets, but Cain and the monster remain classified. Selena justifies her predicament, Endovier or this gig. Which one would you fucking choose?
Literally.
While low key fantasizing about offing the king. Aren't we all?
Mhm.
Nehemia, best friend extraordinaire, understands the Endovier trauma because her people are there too, and gives Selena a badass secret name, Alentia, Unbreakable Spirit. Selena resists the urge to spill the monster's beans to Kale, fearing tunnel tours and escape route revelations. En route to training, Kale plays concerned friend slash royal protector about Dorian, urging Selena to engage her brain. Their laughter is abruptly cut short by a royal guard parade and the king himself. Awkward.
Shoot.
Oh shit, the king is fucking back.
Finally.
So before we get to the king, Selena wakes up and she's got this little crescent moon scar on her hand.
Mhm.
She only remembers, though, dropping the tapestry over the secret door 3 hours prior, which leaves plenty of training time for the final duel. So she's like, what the fuck time is it? And Nehemia's like, it's only been 3 hours. You're good. You still have plenty of time to train.
Mhm.
But this is where Selena realizes that Nehemia saved her.
Mhm.
Selena confesses her identity and competition involvement, but again, withholds some details that she would never tell anyone and withholds the information about Cain and this creature. She justified her situation as escaping Endovier, admitting morbid curiosity about serving the king who ruined her life. Nehemia told her she was her dearest friend, and she understood Selena's Endovier suffering due to her people's enslavement there as well. But Selena didn't let it harden her or shame her soul into cruelty, which Nehemia admires about her.
Mhm.
Because of this, she bestows upon her the name Alentia, spirit that could not be broken, to use with honor and to use when other names grew too heavy, which I loved.
Yes, foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. Selena refrained from telling Kale about Cain and the creature to conceal her tunnel access, which is a potential escape route for her if ever needed.
It's her only escape route at the
Yeah,
moment.
true. Very true. En route to training, Kale questions her relationship with Dorian, urging her to think, claiming concern for both. Then they have their little sword fight training for an hour. And on their way back, they're laughing about how poetry is pretentious. But their laughter is halted as they encountered the king and numerous guards.
He's
God damn it.
back.
Why didn't you just stay away?
Right? Because then our story would never move forward.
You're totally right, darling. He's a necessary evil, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Chapter 44 Royal Encounters and Really Dead Road Trips. Selena's hallway encounter with the king was less a meet and greet and more of a near cardiac event, resulting in some hasty bowing to avoid the pointy end of justice. The king, meanwhile, was giving her the once over, like she was a suspicious stain on his royal carpet, sensing a disturbance in the force, and probably blaming her.
Probably.
Selena, ever the worrywart, pondered if the king knew about Cain's newfound demon summoning hobby, a truly terrifying thought. She also
Mhm.
noted the king's charming aura of death, a delightful parallel to Kane's pre-summoning vibes. She also noted the king's charming aura of death, a delightful parallel to Kane's pre-summoning vibes. Cut to Kale, who's having his own mini meltdown over a royally suspicious report. Apparently, everyone who went on a jolly road trip with the king is now mysteriously deceased. Poisoned,
Mhm.
allegedly, but Kale's not buying the Kool-Aid. He briefly considered if his shared chuckles with Selena had landed him in the royal doghouse, but the king's usual aloofness reassured him, sort of. Kale
Mhm.
also mused on Selena's impressive skill jump, recalling her brief moment of hallway induced terror. His final thought: sending Selena back to Dovier is a no go, not just because of Dorian, but because her short stint of chaos has been epic. Imagine 4 years of that.
Aw.
Mm,
Keep them both. Keep them both. I just love to see a reaction to me saying that.
I
Your
know.
not reaction.
I'm just like, tight. Keep my mouth
Tight.
tight and the smile. Selena is having a mild heart attack when Amanda says things like that, with being in the same hallway as the king. Kale bowed
Mhm.
low, and Selena, not wanting to be sent to the gallows, also bowed. The king was examining her. She said it felt like something had changed in the castle and that something had to do with her, which is very true.
Mhm.
She's shaking the
Yeah.
place up.
Yep.
Even Kale has less of a stick up his ass now.
True. He smiles a little more.
He has a pep in his step. Selena wondered if the king knew if Kane could use the word marks and summon creatures through the word gates. It would be very bad if he had this power. Bitch, why do you think that this king doesn't already have this power?
I know. I'm
It's
like,
for such a smart girl in all her training. It's wild how she misses things right in front of her. And this is like my pet peeve of
mm.
these female main characters when they're supposed to be so smart and strong and cunning and wise. And then when it's literally right in front of their face, they're like, what? I hope that they can't do this. It's like every book series that we read. That's when I get fucking pissed off.
I know. I feel like we gotta give them the benefit of the doubt, though. She is fucking young, and it's a lot of information coming at her at once, and she doesn't trust anybody, so it's not like she has people to confide in about this shit.
Yeah, she doesn't trust anyone. So why would she not think that the king can't use the fucking word gates and the word marks
She's gonna know soon.
with an aura of death around him, that she says? It's like making it worse the more I think about it. Switch to a Kale POV. He is, freaking out because the king gave him a report that just made absolutely no sense. Every
Mm,
single person who had went on the road with the king was dead, all but the king, which also makes literally no sense. Like, how
yeah,
did you survive this poisoning, like, and everyone
literally.
else is dead? I could see if one person maybe was like a taste tester for you and they died on the road because, they drank the poison that was meant for you. But for
Right.
every single guard that went with you to be dead because of poison, but not you, it literally doesn't make any sense.
No.
But Kale, he was being smart. He doesn't buy this at all.
No.
All Kale knew was that they were near the White Fang Mountains and everyone was dead. That's all he knows. And he knows that the king was not telling him everything. And he wonders, is he not telling me what really happened because he saw me laughing with Selena? But
Mm,
that's not the case because apparently the king has always been like aloof and just need to know basis with Kale anyways. I think
yeah.
the king just knows that Kale can be manipulated and told things and knows his loyalty to the country and to the crown, and I think he's a pushover for the king.
Yeah.
Kale said Selena was so good now that he was having a hard time keeping up with her during practice, which is crazy.
Hell yeah.
Though she had looked so scared and so small being in that hallway with the king. He's like, whoa, she was like literally on the verge of a mental breakdown. But he's
Yeah.
scary. He literally put her in Endovier and holds
I
her
know.
life in his hands.
Well, he also controls literally everyone around him, so
Mm.
he can literally snap his fingers and 6 guards will be on her.
For sure. But Kale's like, she can't go back to Endover now, like I said. Not just because of Dorian's feelings for Selena, but because if she caused this much trouble in a few months, never mind her being in the castle with them for 4 years, and he's just not ready to see her go.
I know. He's like, no, you have to stay. You have to win.
You need to do all the things.
And keep him and Dorian.
You're testing my ability to stay quiet about the secrets
I
of the
know. And I
series.
also flip out even when you say like the stupidest things that aren't spoilers. And I'm like, that's a spoiler.
Oh my god, I know. I'm talking about literally like the end of Assassin's Blade, but it's literally she knows the ending of Assassin's Blade because we.
No, I don't.
I mean,
How?
how do you mean? It's how this story starts. A
Oh,
Thunderglass.
I didn't know.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you, and you're just
Oh.
like, don't tell me anything.
Don't tell me how it ends. The prequel.
I'm like, what do you mean? You know how it ends.
It's okay.
It's okay. Even when she already knows, she doesn't want to know.
I don't want to hear it. Yeah. Chapter 45. Kane's unimpressed that Selena's still alive. Just a smug grin and a suspicious black ring. And Parrington's got one too.
Mm-hmm.
Knox, Sherlock's homesing her, bite marks, scars, and late night orders, figures out she's no ordinary thief. A fact Kane seems to grasp, hence his needling. Selena confesses her surprising identity to a floored Knox who advises beheading Kane before making a ninja exit. Caltain's opium break for her chronic headaches is interrupted by a shadowy winged Kane sighting she promptly forgets. Drugs are a hell of a drug. Selena's lips are sealed about ward marks with Dorian, but not sealed to Dorian during a hand-holding chess match that escalates into a passionate kiss. Late-night cuddles are cut short by Selena's fear of monster-induced harm for her prince. Cue nightmare, demon wings, and inescapable mud. Knox's sudden departure cancels the final test, leaving Selena to face a freedom-deciding final duel tomorrow.
Wow.
We are here. Kane is actually not surprised at all to see Selena alive, even though he locked her in a room with that Riderack.
I know. Maybe they're like, now we need to double down on this poison plan because if she escaped
Yeah.
that creature, then what else is she capable of?
True. I'm surprised they didn't up the dose.
I know.
Or maybe they did. He just gives her this small little taunting smile. It's almost like he's got another plan up his sleeve. Wink, wink.
Or he's like, are you going to tell? Are you going to
Yeah.
tell anyone what I was doing?
Yeah. She studies his black ring and wonders if there's a connection between it and his horrible abilities. Yes, Selena, I believe there is a connection.
Yes.
And Parrington has one of these too, so he's in on it. That motherfucker. Knox, noticing Selena's bite-like scars and her stay-in-your-room order, comes to the conclusion that she's no mere jewel thief. There you go, Knox. Kane just wants to expose this fact, though, of her not being a jewel thief. Selena spills the beans to a shocked Knox, revealing her true identity and urging him to flee the castle. She's like, the only alternative for me is in Dovier, so I have no choice but to stay here, but you should fucking go. You're free. Get the fuck out of here.
Literally.
Knox, realizing he underestimated the pretty little thief, who he then calls the underworld queen, tells her to decapitate Kane and then makes a silent early exit. He's like, peace out. I'm out of here. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, he's like, it's been fun doing this competition for the last few weeks, but I'm outie.
Yeah, he's like, I'm free and I'm going to get my freedom.
Yeah, he escaped without anyone stopping him or noticing until what, like the next day?
I know, and she doesn't even tell him about the tunnels, Selena. So how the fuck did he escape?
He's a smart man.
He just walks out the damn front door.
Yeah.
No glass can keep him inside. I thought this was interesting too. Caltaine is in her opium haze, you know, with her fucking shit she's got going on there, with her fucking headaches. But she sees a shadowy winged Kane. How does she see that? Okay, you can't tell me. Got it. Well, she sees it and she's like, oh, fuck. Literally tries to forget it as soon as she saw it.
Yeah, well, I think, like, it's a little to do with well, I guess it's not, like, something I can't say. We find out at the end, we obviously know that Parrington's, like, been manipulating her,
Right.
and so
Yeah, so I assume it is something with whatever he's doing with her headaches,
yeah.
but also I still don't get it. So whatever, we'll leave it
We'll
there.
definitely learn more.
Okay, good. Good to know. Selena is smitten but weary of Prince Dorian.
Hmm.
So she keeps quiet about the ward marks, but doesn't resist his hand holding or their subsequent makeout chess session.
Well, yeah, he's like, "What's wrong?" And, like, I think pushing her for information, so she's like, grabs him and just starts making out with
Yeah, she's
him.
like, I can't tell you, so.
Yeah. Distraction, distraction.
Yeah, and they literally kiss and talk until 3 a.m.
Woof.
3 a.m. for a YA book?
Well, nothing else happened besides the smooching.
I know, annoying.
Like, how
Anyways.
did you just smooch for that many hours?
Right? Selena was tempted to ask Dorian to stay, but the thought of him getting hurt when Kane or the Ritterack showed up made her let him go. So
Mhm.
she does care, even though she doesn't think of him in her time of almost sudden death
Yes.
with the Ritterack. She dozes off eventually and has this nightmare where the sound of the approaching demon fills the air, but the mud is holding her and she can't run. She woke up gasping, but she had survived the night, so she's like, good, I'm good to go. She had survived another night. News of Knox's sudden departure cancels the final test, and Selena's freedom now hinges on a duel against Kane, Grave, and Reynolds tomorrow. Dun dun dun!
We're almost at the end.
We're almost at the end. We're almost at the end. Hey, we're almost at the end.
Hey, chapter 46 From Nah to Maybe Stay. The assassin gets sentimental.
Ooh.
Dorian, apparently needing some quality time with the trees to process his Selena induced brain fog, went hunting. Turns out the kiss left him more confused than smitten, apparently. Her gaze lacked the usual adoring fangirl vibe he's accustomed to, more potential prey, it seems. Despite knowing Selena could likely take down a small army, Dorian was still fretting about her duel tomorrow because apparently his heart has decided it's a Selena only zone now. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
locked away in her room like a pre battle hermit, Selena was having her own existential crisis. Do not disturb signs were firmly in place, even for the brooding captain and the lovesick prince. Her main concern if she wins this whole champion gig, what horrific tasks will the king have her do? Apparently, her past assassin life had some perks, like saying nah to particularly nasty gigs. She even pondered if Elena, her ghostly mentor, expected a royal no. But really, she should be focusing on not getting murdered by Kane tomorrow. In a moment of unexpected self reflection, Selena realized that the hardened assassin who left Indovir would be appalled by her current level of caring about people and wanting to stay in this castle. Apparently, the hopeless killer has developed a soft spot, making tomorrow's duel even more emotionally complicated. Looks like tomorrow's not just a fight for survival, but a battle against unexpected feelings, too.
Aww.
So, Dorian, he's a lovesick fool.
Lovesick fool.
He is so Selena focused and cannot see his future without her in it. But he is just not like thinking properly. Like,
No,
how is he ever going to get away with this? But he doesn't care. He's like, I will not let anyone stand in the way of us.
I like it. Claim your girl,
I mean, yeah,
but also with tail.
but he also has never really fully stood up to his father. So he still
No.
needs to grow some balls first.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that will come with time, and it's probably
Mm-mm.
going to be something about Selena. That's just where my foreshadowing brain goes. And that's when he's finally going to stand up to him. But continue.
I just want people who watch this episode to DM me only
Just Megan. Actually, they can DM Bookish Bliss too, because I'm not on that either.
and just like sit with me in what she just said.
Yeah. And then record it so I can watch it once I know.
Yes. I'll remember you said this, and then
I
when
know
we
you
get there,
will.
I'll tell you.
You have a mind of an elephant. You never forget anything.
I never forget a thing. But Selena is worried about the duel tomorrow because now she has feelings. She
Mhm.
cares.
Yeah.
Our assassin is growing up.
She literally doesn't want to leave anyone. Dorian, Kale, Nehemia, she loves them all, even Philippa.
And I think she knows with this Elena task that she just has so much more down the line. And so she can't really calm her thoughts and really
Yeah.
focus on the duel tomorrow, which obviously should be concern number one.
Yeah.
Which she does kind of say, okay, I need to put this all aside and focus on Kane not killing me tomorrow.
Yeah.
But she just has so much pressure on her, and her freedom's at stake, the kingdom's at stake.
Yes.
Elena has expectations of her. Kale and Dorian have expectations of her. Never mind the expectations she has for herself. Poor Fleetfoot will be left without a mom if she gets sent
I
back to
know.
Angovir.
That's the biggest worry for her.
Yeah. So she's locked everyone out of her room. No boys allowed. I think it was Dorian probably knocking at the door. She says, like, there's a knock on her door, and then
And
they
she
end up
can't
going
answer it.
away. I don't
Yeah.
think it would be Kale. Like, I think he knows that, like, she needed to focus and prepare herself for the
You don't think
duel.
Dorian would just walk right in though?
Well, she sent explicit instructions, like, they can't come in. I think the doors were locked.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been coming every single night to her room, so I have
Yeah.
to imagine that it
It
was him
was
and
him.
not Kale.
Yeah.
But yeah, she cares.
She
That
does.
was the point of this chapter. Dorian cares too much, and so does Selena.
Gotta bring up the emotion before the final duel, you know?
Yeah, it's like
Really get in our feels.
the stakes are high.
Chapter 47. Caltain's on wine duty for the final duel with a secret poison chaser for Selena. Don't mix the goblets up, bitch. The chilly outdoor venue is a surprise. Selena spots two former clients. Oops, double dipped on that assassination gig. Nehemia shows up with a warrior respecting staff, ditching the pom poms. The duel rules trap 'em, but don't kill 'em. Kane crushes Renault in record time, and Kale offers his sword to Selena to use as her weapon of choice. But it was rejected. Nehemia pushes her to use the iron tip staff. Gotta rep the homeland while kicking some ass. Selena realized being the king's champion could be a sneaky way to save lives and undermine that shithead. Possibly Elena's angle, too. Selena has a touching thank you for making my freedom matter moment with Kale and his ring stroking thumb. Facing Grave, Selena thinks, honey, you have no idea.
Oh, honey. What an Amanda thing to say.
Literally. So, Amanda. We start this chapter in Caltain's POV because she's in charge of the wine for the final duel. And she knows the one on the right was for Selena, and she would empty the vials she had in her pocket into it. She must not confuse them at all costs. She must get this right.
Oh, fuck off, Caltaine.
They didn't know until the duels actually started that they would be outside in the freezing cold. So, game changer for the final battle here.
It was literally like a last minute decision. The king was like,
Yeah.
yep, it's outside now.
Yeah, nobody knew, not even Kale or any
Yeah.
of the other sponsors.
The councilman.
I love that Selena also notices these two gentlemen, Lord Urizen and Garnell, who once hired her separately to kill the same man 2 years ago. And she takes the payment from both of them and never told them. So she just double dipped in that assassination. And I love that for her.
Me too. A girl needs her money. She loves to shop.
Yeah. And who the fuck is going to question Selena Sardathian?
No one.
No one. Nehemia was there to support her friend carrying a wooden staff to honor her. One fellow warrior acknowledging another. Which I
Love
love
it.
this.
Girl power.
To win the duel, you had to trap your opponent in a position of sure death, but no further. No killy.
No killy.
No killy. Kane and Renault went first, then Selena and Grave, and the winners would battle in the final duel. So Kale was giving Selena tips as Kane and Renault dueled, and he ended up winning in 3 minutes, Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Kale offered his sword to Selena to use in the duel, but Nehemia also offered her iron tip staff. And she thinks the sword would be a better option, but Nehemia says to her, let it be with an Eelway weapon that you take them down. And Selena was sold. She was like, okay, how can I say no to that?
No, literally. How do you say no? Except I was like, fucking take the sword.
I know. She knew what the princess was asking of her. As the king's champion, she might find ways to save countless lives and undermine the king's authority. And she also realized that was exactly what Elena wanted too,
No, for
basically.
sure.
She said to Kale, no matter what happens, thank you for making my freedom mean something. And this is where he grabs her hand and holds it while he strokes the ring he gave her with his thumb.
That's very romantic.
Very romantic, very intimate.
Very
Very
intimate.
demure. No, just kidding.
Very cutesy.
Very cutesy. She's about to start her duel with Grave, and she's thinking, you have no fucking clue what you're getting yourself into, little man. She like turns on the sass and turns on the energy. She's like, Selena Sardothian, a Darling's greatest assassin, on.
Yep. Chapter 48. Knockout, knocked out, and knocking on death's door.
Oh, that sounds like a good fucking country music song.
Right? Add a little twang to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Selena versus Grave, 2 minutes. Total knockout. She even offered him a bloody hanky. Savage. Then the king's wine was clearly poison. Caltain's prayer was a red flag.
Hmm.
Selena drank it anyway. Drugged and dizzy, Selena faced Kane, who was having a field day. Kale's pep talk was useless. Dorian had a silent panic attack, and Kane got nasty, bringing up Selena's horrific past before literally kicking her into a clock tower. In a brief moment of clarity, only Kale's face mattered. Then more clock tower. Oh, and then she saw winged monsters, and Kane ripped off her amulet, revealing an army of the dead. So yeah, rough day at the office.
Real rough day.
So, before we get into winged monsters and an army of the dead, we're bringing it back to the second duel, but Selena's first duel, which is Selena versus Grave.
Mm-hmm.
She knew he was going to charge at her fast, but he was really no match for her. She beat him within 2 minutes, which
Hell yeah.
was faster than Kane had taken down Renault. So she's like,
Yes.
fuck yeah, fuck you, Kane.
And he has all that extra champion power, and he still took longer.
Exactly. Selena tells Grave, my name is Selena Sardothian, but even if it was Lillian or bitch like he called her, she would still beat him.
Hell
She
yeah.
then tossed a handkerchief at him to wipe up his blood, but Kale thought that part was a little unnecessary. So
I
this
thought it was necessary.
same, it was a mic drop.
Fuck yeah.
So the stick is still a little bit up Kale's ass.
Just a little. Halfway.
The king asks Caltaine to give wine to the two finalists before their duel. Caltaine gives a dumb prayer to the mother and hands them each their glass of wine, which Selena drinks. The king had smiled at Selena before she sipped. Like, hello, it's clearly poison. That's the part where I'm like,
Warning.
girl,
Warning.
hello, red flag, red flag. He
Yeah.
smiled at you. He never smiles at you.
I know. I know.
Dumb.
Very dumb. But
So
also, Caltaine thinks she's a high priestess or something.
she needs to
She
get
always thinks
punched.
she's more than she is, that fucking bitch.
She doesn't know who she is. That's
No.
the problem. Selena versus Kane. So the effects of the bloodbane started hitting pretty quickly as the match started, and the king hadn't given her any time to rest before the match with Grave, which seemed to shock everybody in the audience because
Yeah.
they thought there would be downtime from her first match to her second because she had gone second out of the duels.
Yeah. Even
But
though it only took 3 minutes, but got a break in between.
2 minutes, 2 minutes.
2 minutes, you're right. It was Kane that was 3.
Yes. So neither of them really had
No.
downtime.
Yeah.
Kale told her not to lose. He didn't want to have to bring her back to Endovir, but there was obviously so much more that he wasn't saying.
Yeah.
Kane was toying with Selena. He knows that she's drugged. He calls her pathetic. And when she had the opportunity to make the killing blow on Kane, she missed it because of the effects of the drug. I was sitting next to Amanda during this, and I was like, pathetic? She's pathetic. You're pathetic. I was literally flipping out. I'm like, you had to kill all those champions to get where you are today. And
Literally.
she's drugged and almost got the killing win on you.
Yeah.
You're pathetic.
But of course, a man would still say a woman is pathetic no matter what.
Of course, misogynistic assholes.
Yep.
But Selena knew she needed to end this match before the hallucination started. So apparently, Bloodbane gives you some really bad hallucinations.
Mm-hmm.
But Kane was already kicking her ass, so she's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Dorian is freaking out. He knows something was wrong the second the match had started. He couldn't help her though, because if he did interfere, then his father might just declare Kane the winner. So
Yeah,
he had to sit there and watch in horror, which is so true. If
I
Dorian
know.
jumped to her defense, match over, Kane declared the winner, Selena in shackles, and back off to Endovir.
Yeah, and what would happen to Dorian? His dad would definitely take some shit out on him too.
Oh, for sure.
Mm.
Kale is also panicking, standing on the sideline of the duel, and he was wondering how had everything gone so horribly wrong. Well, Kale, she
Well,
was drugged.
unfortunately, poison.
Yeah. Kane starts mentioning Selena's past while they're in the ring, saying, what would her father think? And how did it feel to wake up between her parents and being all bloody?
Yeah, just give her more ammo to kick your fucking ass and kill you. Keep it up.
Literally. Keep it up. And that Kane can see her beneath what she's trying to hide from the rest of the world. And Kale's like, what does that mean? And how
Yeah.
does he know so much about Selena's past?
Mm,
Very suspicious.
indeed.
But before Kale can contemplate this any further, he kicks Selena straight into the clock tower.
Oh, no.
So Kale is literally on the edge of the mat where there's this like white chalked line that they can't cross.
Mhm.
And Kale keeps telling Selena to stand up, get up. And their hands are just inches from the chalk line boundary. She said in that moment, only Kale's face mattered. She managed to stand, but Kane grabbed her and threw her against the clock tower again.
No, I hate this clock tower.
She can't catch a break.
No.
Then she was half in the world where everyone else is, and half in another where she saw creatures waiting for her, and one of them had wings, which is interesting that Caltaine saw Kane with wings as well.
Yeah, interessante.
Kane rips the eye of Elena off of Selena's chest, and she saw that an army of dead was waiting for her. And
Could you
that's how that chapter
imagine?
ends. No,
Imagine.
no, not just two beasts, like an entire army of the dead waiting to like destroy her.
Yeah.
Nuts.
And she's even thinking in this moment, is this real or is it a hallucination? She doesn't even know because she's fucking poisoned.
I know.
Crazy. Chapter 49. Dorian's desperate cries to end the duel were ignored by a rule following Kale, while Princess Nehemia's eelway finger doodles preceded a chaotic portal opening. A sudden gust wind checked Kane as Queen Elena deployed a ghostly no trespassing sign to the dead, offering a cleanse. Not superpowers. Kane, greenlit by the king, drew his sword, only to have Elena's blue light special turn his shadowy form into ribbons.
Ooh.
Yes. As the poison fog lifted, a shivering Selena questions Elena's dramatic arrival and Nehemia's frantic air typing before Elena whispered, stand, and then vanished. Broken staff in hand, she faced a newly solid Kane in a scene dripping with theatrics.
Ooh.
This is the final rumble here.
It's the final countdown.
Dorian has a little chit chat with Kale. He wants to stop this duel now, but
Mhm.
Kale knew that any interference could result in Selena being disqualified. So they're both like, even though we want to fucking kill Kane and save her, we can't. She has to save herself.
Yeah.
Nehemia says something in eel way and walk to the edge of the ring, and Dorian is noticing all of this. He also notices that she was hiding her rapidly moving fingers in her cloak, tracing symbols in the air.
Mm.
Interessante, you little magic person over there.
Girl power.
Girl fucking power. Selena then notices something happening. A bunch of doors of wood, iron, air, and magic all burst open. And
Mhm.
this is when a gust of wind slammed into Kane and held him down. So this is the second gust of wind. That's why I'm like, was the first one Elena? But I
Well, the
guess
first
not.
one pushed her into danger, so
Or pushed her into the portal so she could go right.
they pushed her into the
Yeah,
no.
into the room so that she would know that her only way out is the right.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyways, so the gust of wind slammed into Kane and held him down, and Selena saw the queen stretch out her hand and a golden light burst from her palm, forming a wall between her and the dead. Elena says to her, I cannot protect you. I cannot give you my strength, but I can remove the poison from your body. She sucks the poison out of her.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. Cain looked to the king and retrieved his sword. And this is where the king nods, basically saying, Ender. Pretty tricks, your majesty, Cain said to Elena. Be gone, Elena said, and formed a symbol with her hands. Then a bright blue light burst from her hand, and this is where the light slashes Cain's shadow body into ribbons. Which is interesting. He can talk to her and see her.
Yeah, well, he can see the army of the dead, I think, because of his shadows.
True.
And I wonder if he lost all the strength of the champions when Elena puts this blue light, right, on
Yeah.
Cain and his
Yeah.
shadow body turns into ribbons. So I wonder if he lost all the strength that he had
True.
gained by Elena doing that.
Yeah, because she does mention it as soon as she sees Cain, he's flesh again, like
Yeah.
all normal.
Yeah.
Oh, interessante. So the poison is almost gone, and Selena was starting to come out of her hallucination, and she felt the coldness of the winter and the pain all over her entire body. But she wondered why Elena was here and what Nehemia was doing with her hands moving so strangely.
Well, she's not doing sign language, bitch.
No, she's not fucking crossing her fingers hoping that you survive,
Yeah.
okay? Elena told her to stand, and then she was gone. The world reappeared, and there was no longer shadows around Cain. He was flesh and blood again. Selena lifted the remnants of the staff. Struggling, she stood. She's
She,
fucking ready.
she's not done yet.
Not done yet, but she will be soon.
Yeah. Chapter 50, Glow Up and Throw Down. Selena wins again.
Hell yeah.
So, a word mark practically gave Selena a built in spotlight on her forehead, and guess what? She still handed Cain his backside. The king, probably regretting his life choices, mumbled something about her winning. Cue Prince, my precious assassin, Dorian's dramatic fainting couch routine over the poisoning, only to be outdone by Captain Oops stabbed him, Kale's sudden homicidal tendencies. While Selena regaled a clueless Dorian with tales of the afterlife, relationship goals, Paltane learned that snitches get stitches, or in her case, betrayed by a slimy duke and dragged off while vowing to make him regret heir. Basically, our girl survived looking like a glow stick. The villain got a sword shaped surprise. The prince swooned harder than a Regency heroine, and the resident mean girl finally got a taste of her own medicine. You go, Glen Coco. I mean, Selena.
You go, Glen Coco.
So, Selena, now poison free, stood up and faced Cain. A mark burned on her forehead in a blinding blue light. Cain called it out, but everyone, including the king, could see it on her forehead.
Mm.
Cain lunged at her like he was going to behead her, but left the right side, Kale pointed out, unguarded, and she stabbed him there. She took him to the ground and held the dagger to his throat. She demanded he'd yield. The king finally, begrudgingly, announced that his son's champion was the winner. Like, he wouldn't even say her name.
I know.
She was in disbelief, though, that she won, and one day she would be free. She's like, I won, I won, I won.
Yeah.
Freedom.
It's all hitting her at once.
Yes. Selena falls to the ground near Dorian. He calls for a physician to be brought to them, and he's wondering who drugged her.
Mhm.
Dorian looked at Caltaine and Parrington, but in doing so, he missed the look his father gave to Cain, who went to stab Selena in the back. But Kale had seen, and he ran his sword through Cain's heart.
I
He
fucking
said,
love
he
kale.
said, we play by the rules. She won fair and square. We're not playing dirty now, bitch. Now you die.
Now you fucking die.
Kale was in disbelief, though, that he had just killed someone. This was apparently his first kill, and he fell to the ground before being escorted back into the castle. Selena, who's like, oh my god, what is happening? Like, she's super overwhelmed and overstimulated at this point, is
Yeah.
rambling to Dorian about what happened with Cain, the army of the dead, and Elena, but Dorian's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But the councilmen could all hear her. He had never seen Selena so frantic when Cain spoke about her family. So he's like,
Mm.
we need to just get you out of here. So he
Yeah.
kisses the top of her head, not caring who saw him do that, and carries her back to her room. He loved her, and he would rip this world apart if they tried to keep him away from her.
Oh,
That was cute.
that was cute, but I like kale better right now.
Caltaine was pissed
Good, bitch.
that Selena was alive and Dorian was carrying her away and she wasn't comforting him over Selena's dead body.
Hmm,
Parrington betrays Caltaine, not shocking,
not
by
shocking.
placing the poison blame all on her. The king won't help her though, so she's dragged off by guards and she vows that she will kill the Duke.
Ooh, is that foreshadowing?
Foreshadowing!
Dun dun dun! I don't know for sure, but I believe it is. And Megan cannot confirm at this time. Chapter 51. Dorian stages a Kale did nothing wrong intervention with his dad, who is less concerned with honor and more with, would you shank me? Dorian, bless his lying heart, says, no, never. The king declares Selena's poison skills a disgrace, and Dovia around too, but he suspects she's playing the prince. Dorian's got a soft spot, much to his dad's amusement. Meanwhile, Dorian's onto Nehemia's secret weapon and her word marky ways, saving her from Parrington's hostage happy hour. Selena's a bruised mess. Nehemia reveals her inner eye, admitting she's been silently swatting Kane's summoned beast with her family's forbidden wordmark magic. Oops, illegal! Kane's been getting demon therapy sessions, apparently. Nehemia's been doodling anti-monster sigils under Selena's bed. Nehemia's the portal concierge who let Elena in for a cameo. Forehead wordmark? Potential royal scandal. Nehemia drops the bomb. She's a spy. Selena's impressed by Nehemia's guts, or maybe just her secret magic. But it's a you do you situation for now. Amulet's back, and Sleep finally offers an escape from the demon infomercials. She needed the amulet to get rid of the nightmares. Dorian is chatting it up with his father, and he's asking him what will happen to Kale for killing Kane. He believes there was no honor in killing her in the back after she won, so he's defending Kale's actions. And the king said, oh, would you have slain me if I tried to kill her? And Dorian carefully said, you're my father. I would have trusted your choice. But the king knows he's a cunning little liar, but he's not going to punish Kale at the end of the day, so win for us.
Yeah, because he knows he's a pushover.
Yeah, he knows that he's going to get him where he needs him.
Yeah.
The king also said that Selena's performance was disgraceful. If she was really good, she would have known it was poison. Maybe he would send her back to Endovir, but Dorian sticks up for her. Everything she's done was to survive. But the king thinks she's playing Dorian for a little fool. He says he has no attachment to her, but he knew his father had found his new weak spot. Yeah, no attachment to her, my ass, Dorian. The king will send her his contract when he gets around to it, so he's in no rush to officially name her the champion.
No.
Even though she won fair and square after all odds were against her, literally.
Literally.
Dorian, aware of Nehemia's strategic gift of an EOA weapon and her knowledge of powerful symbols, argued against Parrington's plan to take Nehemia hostage, suggesting alliance with the rebels instead, which the king conceded, saying he will call off Parrington's planning.
That's a win.
I'm sure there's a little bit of a motive there, but for now, we'll take it. Another win. A severely injured Selena, plagued by nightmares, wanted Elena's amulet back for protection against them. She'd lost it in the battle, and it's gone for now.
Yeah.
Nehemia revealed she saved Selena during the duel, her unique sight enabling her to witness the hallucinations caused by the bloodbane in the wine, a reaction of magic calling to magic. So she's literally telling her here she's magic.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why she saw it.
Well, Selena knows that she's magic.
I know, but I feel like she has to be reminded constantly.
It's true.
Nehemia tells Selena that she pretended not to know the language at first as a defense, but it got harder to be around her, so she asked for lessons because she liked her and just wanted a friend. Nehemia's family secretly guarded wordmark knowledge for many generations, reserved for only dire circumstances due to the magic ban. If anyone knew what she was using, she would be imprisoned. She had recognized the wordmark summoning from the start, noting Kane's inability to control the creatures. She was banishing and destroying the creatures he summoned for months. She wants to know all about how and where she came in contact with the Ritterak, but that was for another time. She can't ask Selena that right now. The poison had pulled Selena into the interdimensional space of the creatures, drawn by Kane's hatred. Nehemia explained that she used the word marks to open a portal for Elena's intervention, hearing Selena's desperate call. Interdimensional travel was beyond Nehemia's current skill, so she didn't actually call upon Elena. Elena was waiting there, hearing Selena's calls for help.
Mhm.
So she just was the gatekeeper here.
Yes.
The creatures and Elena existed in the in between, we learn, requiring immense power to briefly open portals. Cain's brief opening allowed creatures through, while Nehemia's countered, closing them. They played this cat and mouse game for months. Cain's exposure to the summoned evil had seemingly corrupted him. The demons whispered secrets to him, explaining Cage's knowledge of Selena. Nehemia noted the word mark on Selena's forehead was foreign to her, and Selena feared the king's reaction because, everybody saw it, including the king.
Mhm.
Finally, Nehemia revealed her true purpose, just to spy on the king. Little spy girl.
Mhm.
Selena praised Nehemia's bravery, but Nehemia insisted Selena navigate her new role as the king's champion independently, returning the amulet that her guards had found. Selena, feeling grateful and protected, finally slept soundly. So she's like, I know you're the king's champion. We're going to work together eventually, but for now, you do you. Don't get yourself in any trouble. And I'll be here when the little fuss about you quiets down.
Yes. Chapter 52. Selena wakes to a broody Dorian riddled with guilt over his ringside inaction. She soothes his princely angst, reminding him that interference would have meant her disqualification and no royal snogging later, presumably. Dorian then lays on the charm, admitting he was surprisingly smitten with the sassy assassin he rescued from prison. Meanwhile, Captain feels bad about stabbing the bad guy, Kale, is still in his emotional corner. Cut to King Broody Sr. contemplating whether to actually give Selena the evil minion contract. He also muses on toughening up Dorian with some battlefield boot camp. The king, a wordmark aficionado, is intrigued and potentially homicidal about Selena's forehead glow up. Turns out the king and Parrington have matching mood rings, obsidian, naturally,
hmm
that they used to puppet Caltaine, even Kane. They're not thrilled about Caltaine's public villainy, but she's too useful to rot in a dungeon forever. Also, the king nixes Parrington's use Nehemia as a pawn plan because subtlety is apparently still a thing sometimes.
So the king has a ring too.
Mm-hmm.
And Selena doesn't think he knows.
The next time Selena wakes up, she's unsure of the time, but Dorian has entered her room. He was brooding, hadn't been sleeping because he hadn't attempted to save her from Kane when he knew something had been obviously wrong. Selena attempted to comfort him, saying he wouldn't have done anything or she would have been disqualified.
hmm
Selena wanted to know if Dorian really thought she could have won the competition, and he told her obviously he did, or he never would have traveled all the way to Endovier to get her.
Yeah.
He never saw himself liking her, though, so much, but he is grateful that she is in his life.
Aw.
We also get a quick update that Kale is still in his feels about delivering the killing blow to Kane. And we get our first King POV chapter. He's having a
Mm.
meeting with Parrington, contemplating if he's going to send over the contract to Selena to actually be his champion. He was also thinking about sending Dorian to see actual battle to make a man out of him. Okay.
Oh boy.
The king is well versed in word marks. Shocking nobody. But the king is contemplating what was that word mark on Selena's forehead. He had never seen that one before. He will research it and kill her if needed, but right now she would be useful to him now that Kane was dead.
hmm
Parrington and the king talk about Caltaine's submissiveness and how their influence worked on her, looking down at their obsidian rings. So we know that these rings are controlling people.
Oh, it's not just headaches.
I think whatever power that they're using is causing the headaches, but I think it all
True.
stems from the ring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had used it on Kane too. Parrington had relaxed the influence a bit because she was starting to look horrible and have headaches. So I wonder if that's why she does lash out at the end at Parrington because he had loosened the influence on her.
Yeah.
The king didn't like the public reveal of what Caltaine had done because it brought on too many questions that he just did not want to answer.
Wait, actually this made me think. Did he control her the whole time? So like he was making her obsessed with Dorian?
I don't know. Maybe.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
Like, literally setting her up for a failure, and it's not even her.
Yeah.
And we're thinking she's, like, this fucking awful person, but really it's just him controlling her.
Mhm.
Whoa. Your
Whoa.
silence says everything.
But they're not gonna let her rot in the dungeon forever because she could still be of use to them. And then that's when he's like, back off on the Nehemia plan. Like, it's attracting too much attention. And
Yeah,
Harrington's like, all right, whatever.
I
Doesn't
know.
seem like all that pushed or bothered about it.
Which is probably means they have some other sneaky shit up their sleeve that they're like, "Okay, this can go on the back burner for
Mm.
now." Chapter 53. A week post-duel, Selena's healing but still rocking the limp chic. Dorian and Nehemia are her loyal pit crew while Philippa, I can't say the real name, tackles the pressing issue of more closet space. Sleep brings ominous dreams, glowing word marks, dead armies, and the king looking particularly sinister. Another foreshadowing alert.
Hmm.
Guilt ridden, Kale finally visits, angst about his newfound killer instinct, and probing about Selena's dead parents. She lies, blaming Kane's underworld Wi Fi. Awkward hug interrupted by jealous Dorian, who brings contract news. Cue the king's champion can't date the prince breakup, followed by Dorian's secret romance plea, and Selena's I'm drowning in secrets already rebuttal. 4 years till her freedom with a friendship as the consolation prize. Dorian's all as you wish, and Nehemia arrives with the same contract congrats. Alone, Selena whispers her new favorite word free.
Oh.
Such a heartwarming chapter. Although she breaks up with Dorian.
Yeah.
It's been a week. She's still got these injuries, still limping. And Dorian and Nehemia were there keeping her company. Philippa made room in her closet for more clothing, and she finally is getting her money, honey.
Well, not yet, but she's gonna have the money, honey.
Yes. When she did sleep, her dreams were filled with archaic words and long forgotten faces with word marks that glowed blue, with the king and with a dead army summoned from the realms of hell. Here's the foreshadowing. Who are these fucking people that glow blue?
Or not just that glowed blue, but just like everything in that sentence in general. But it's
Yeah.
interesting because she was having these horrific nightmares without the Eye of Elena on her, and then she
Mhm.
slept soundly with it on. So if she's having these dreams with the Eye of Elena on, obviously they mean something and she needs to know.
Exactly. Yeah. You're so right. Good point. Good point. Kale comes to see her and he wanted to apologize for not checking in on her sooner. He can't stop thinking about what happened and how easy it was for him to kill. He asked how she knew about her parents, and she says, I don't know. But of course, she's lying. She knows exactly how he knew,
Yeah.
how Kane knew. She knew Kane's access to the underworld and the in between gave him the ability to see into her mind, her memories, and her soul. Kale apologized for the death, and she lied again, saying she's forgotten all about them. Selena was trying to thank him for killing Kane, but he was trying to hurry off to a meeting. But she grabs him anyway and hugs him. And this is where Dorian comes in. Dorian is, of course, jealous and says, It looks like you two were in the middle of something.
Mm.
Kale had walked away by this point, though, and she actually feels bad for him. I would too. I mean, killing someone is no easy task.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, but
Well, especially since it's his first kill.
yeah, exactly. And it was someone who was actually on the guard with him, like not an enemy. Well, maybe in the duel, but not an enemy to the kingdom. Dorian has good news. The king would give her the contract tomorrow and it would be official. He kisses her, but she pulls back and says, if I'm the king's champion, we can't be together. And he's like, Of course we can. We'll just keep it a secret. And she's like, No, I have enough fucking secrets. So he says, Fine, I'll find a way to tell my parents. And she says, No. He's like, You don't want to be with me? What? And she's like, I'm saying in 4 years when I'm done, I want to be free, which is so fucking true. She's never had a free moment to herself in her life after 8 years old and her parents were killed.
But she's never gonna be free. She has Elena's tasks still at hand.
I
Like,
know.
she's never gonna, after 4 years, just to be able to run away and, like, not think about the evil that's still plaguing a Darlin. Like,
I
she
know.
has a lot of things to be doing.
She's got hope, though, that she's going to be free after 4 years.
Okay.
She still wants to be Dorian's friend, though, and he says, "As you wish," and always, they'll always be friends no matter what.
Yeah.
Nehemia was on her way to tell her the good news of the contract because Dorian wasn't supposed to tell. He was supposed to let Nehemia.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're both saying congratulations to her. When Dorian left, she whispered the words to herself again and again: free,
Bitch,
free,
you ain't
free,
free.
free, 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 free. No, but also she's not going back to Endovier, so that's one little
It's
freedom.
definitely a step in the right direction, but she's
Yeah,
not free.
she's not free yet. I'm sure she'll realize that eventually, but right now she's thinking,
She's Delulu.
freedom, freedom.
Delusional. Delusional. Chapter 54. No sword, no prince, no problem. Mostly. Guilt-ridden Kale, swordless but still awkward, looked for Dorian in Selena's room to explain the hugging. Kale found her eating solo. She dumped Dorian because champion life. Kale looked
Mhm.
suspiciously pleased. He pondered his soul, watching her smile. They toasted her future freedom. The chapter then took a ghostly turn, with Selena dreaming in a tomb, having a girl power chat with warrior spirit Elena. Elena hinted at Selena's hidden potential in some upcoming spooky voices, promising eternal spectral backup and advising her to just chill and enjoy the champion gig for now.
Yeah,
So,
just enjoy
bitch,
it for now.
you're not free. You got shit to do.
Big reality check for
Yeah.
her.
So Kale ends up back in Selena's rooms a few hours later because he couldn't find Dorian, and he wanted to tell him that what Dorian walked in on was not what it looked like with Selena. Bitch, please.
Sure.
He had not put his sword back on his person since he stabbed Kane with it, and he is fully in his feels about it. Kale asked Selena where Dorian was when he found her eating alone, and she said he wasn't with her. She broke things off with him because she was now the king's champion, and Dorian is the crown prince, and that wasn't appropriate. Kale seems pleased by this news for more than one reason.
Me too.
He's playing it
Kale,
off
slide
like,
in there.
yeah. Well, he was playing it off like, "Oh, well, I've been saying this all along. I'm glad you
Yeah.
came to your senses."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kale hopes that since Selena still smiled after the killing and what she went through in Endovier, that he still had a soul. He joins her for dinner and they toast to her freedom in 4 years. We end this chapter in a dream Selena's having in the tomb with Elena. Selena says she didn't know that Elena was a warrior. Elena tells her many things have been lost about her in history, and that she fought by Gavin's side. She was not this damsel in distress with like the eye of Elena protecting her.
I love that.
She tells Selena that she could rattle the stars. She could do anything she dared, and that's what scared Selena the most. Because she has expectations on her, and she's not ready to have expectations on her.
Indeed.
Elena tells her people who need Selena to save her as much as Selena needs to be saved. Elena was woken by a voice, many voices, some screaming, and that's why she is here. And one day soon, Selena may be able to hear them too, when she's ready to open up her eyes and her ears and all her senses to there's a bigger picture here, honey.
And you're magical.
Yeah. Like, it would be a boring book series if now she's just forever the king's champion and then in 4 years the book's over.
Yeah, that would be real boring.
Yes. Elena will continue to watch over Selena, stand by her even if Selena tries to shove her away. Blood ties cannot be broken.
What? Blood ties
Foreshadowing.
cannot be broken.
Hmm.
Huge foreshadowing. Blood ties? Blood
Blood
ties.
ties. For right now, Selena is exactly where she needs to be. She will know what she needs to do. But for right now, just enjoy the accomplishment of Kane not killing her and winning the competition.
Yes, you're alive and you're the champion.
Yes.
Chapter 55 and the last chapter of Throne of
Let's
Glass and of this
go.
episode. Let's fucking go. Selena's contract signing with the king. It's awkward family fun. He's honoring Dorian's 4-year get out of jail free card, though his face screams otherwise. Her overly enthusiastic, "Thank you, your majesty, my liege, my everything," doesn't fool anyone. The rules are simple: no questions, you just do it, and if you get caught, you say, "I have no idea who this creepy monarch is." Oh, and failure to comply means a domino effect of death, starting with Kale, then Nehemia and her entire family. Cheerful.
Yay.
Contract signed, dismissed like a pesky fly, but Selena's thrilled. Kale offers mission deets, but she's all talk to the hand. Let's do it tomorrow. So we finally get a contract.
Woo!
And she signs her life away for the next 4 years.
Yes.
He was honoring the 4-year bargain that Dorian had made with her, although he did not seem pleased by it.
Yes.
And I don't foresee him keeping this attitude, but who are we? I don't know.
We're upholding the 4-year contract. He'll
Yeah, I
probably say,
don't
what
see it.
contract? Ripped up. It didn't say 4.
Literally, yeah. He says, "Aren't you going to thank me?" And she says with enthusiasm, "Thank you for such an honor and gift, Your Majesty. I am your humble servant." He knows she's fucking lying through her teeth.
Just like Dorian.
Exactly. He tells her the rules. There will be no questioning on her part. When he tells her to do something, she will fucking do it. And if she's caught, she's not to reveal her connection to him. Easy enough. Should she fail or forget to return, she will pay with Kale's life, then Nehemiah's, and Nehemiah's brothers and her mother. So he knows, like, okay, if I give her this freedom, she could literally take off. So he gives her this consequence to her not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
She signs the contract and he dismisses her until she's needed again. But Selena is happy. Kale's already trying to get on first mission on her. But she's like, no, just tell me tomorrow. Let me enjoy this before I have to go on a killing spree for this ugly man.
Yeah. Gross.
And that's how Throne of Glass ends. Yay! Round of applause. Selena is the fucking champion.
Another book done.
Another book done. Number 1 of 8 in the series. But we're so excited to get into all of our thoughts about this next week, so we'll leave it at that for now.
Yes.
That's all we have for you today. Please let us know what you think by leaving us a review and comments on any of the platforms you are listening/watching on or on our social media pages. This helps tremendously to get the word out and lead more listeners to find our show and tune in. And come join our book club Discord. You can find the link in our bios on Insta and TikTok. And this month we are reading Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. We love chatting with you guys, so don't be shy.
Yes, don't forget to email, follow, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and tell all your friends about us. And we hope the rest of your day is blissful. Bye!
Thank you so much for listening. Join us next week where we discuss our final thoughts of Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Happy reading!